When someone takes their own life, the impact on families, friends, and the local community is devastating. As well as the immense pain and grief caused to loved ones, there are often wide-reaching and long-lasting effects on everyone involved. We believe that suicide is not inevitable. Sandwell Council, along with partner organisations, is committed to meeting the ambition that by 2030, no one will die of suicide in Sandwell. Sandwell's public health team have spoken to local service providers and people with lived experiences to understand what needs to be done. This has led to a strategy and to a list of recommendations of how we are going to make sure death by suicide becomes a thing of the past. These recommendations are: Recommendation 1. To enable Sandwell Council staff who work with local people to recognise signs of suicidal thought and be able to offer appropriate support. Why is this important? We know that suicidal thoughts can happen to anyone. Giving our frontline staff the skills and knowledge to identify people who may be experiencing these thoughts means we can reach more people who might not currently be receiving the support they need. Recommendation 2. To make sure there is the right support at the right time for our communities by bringing local groups together across the 6 towns of Sandwell to share knowledge, experience and expertise. Why is this important? Local organisations and services such as the police and the emergency services will have invaluable on-the-ground knowledge. For example, being able to identify high-risk locations. Bringing together these key services ensures local response is fine-tuned to the needs of each specific area within Sandwell. Recommendation 3. Reduce barriers that organisations face in creating and delivering innovative services. Why is this important? Our local community organisations are experts in supporting and engaging our richly diverse population. Access to resources such as funding can be challenging and time-consuming for organisations. The Council and partners will work with and support the community voluntary sector to develop and deliver community-led projects to support our communities. Recommendation 4. Understand and tackle the barriers that stop people getting the support they need when they need it. Why is this important? When people experience suicidal thoughts, accessing support quickly and easily is essential. However, there are barriers that exist which might prevent them from doing so. We want to better understand what these barriers are so we can work to actively reduce them. Recommendation 5. To work with GPs to make sure they are aware of all the support available. Why is this important? GPs will often encounter people who are depressed, who self-harm and are at risk of suicide, as well as people who have been bereaved by suicide. As a trusted professional group, it is vital that GPs possess the most current information on available support services. This will ensure more people are accessing appropriate levels of support. Recommendation 6. For all first responders to be aware of the range of bereavement support available. Why is this important? First responders are professionals whose job entails being the first on the scene of an emergency, such as a firefighter or police officer. Often the first point of contact for people bereaved due to suicide will be a first responder and bereavement-related partners. Providing guidance on appropriate support at such a key stage of bereavement means that an offer of support can be made immediately. Recommendation 7. To keep track of existing population groups who have the biggest risk of suicide, as well as identifying emerging groups or issues where risk may be higher. Why is this important? Knowledge is key to ensuring service provision is catering to the needs of our most at-risk groups. Understanding when people may be most vulnerable will help to get them the right support at the right time. Recommendation 8. Collate and analyse multiple sources of data to identify emerging trends and act quickly to address them. Why is this important? There are many sources of data that, when pulled together, can be used to identify trends. Understanding and sharing intelligence with partners helps us to plan resources and activities to those at risk of suicide and emerging needs. Recommendation 9. To work with local media to ensure they are providing compassionate and accurate news on deaths by suicide. Why is this important? Media coverage on deaths by suicide can have a significant and lasting impact on bereaved family and friends. Ensuring that local media outlets have embedded good practice guidance will greatly minimise any harm caused by reporting. Recommendation 10. To identify and address the additional challenges that key groups such as rough sleepers and newly arrived migrants may face in accessing timely support. Why is this important? Certain groups, due to their circumstances, will face additional barriers to accessing appropriate support. This can put them at increased risk of poor mental health. Alternative routes to targeted services will mean groups can avoid being missed out for support and treatment.